Kakalosh Boker Tov. We're continuing with the halachot of Hilchot Shabbat. If you remember, we made a distinction between what's called schid yom and kablanut. The rabbis came and they prohibited in order to take a goy to work for you on Shabbat, because the goy is doing it with your shlichut, with your messengers, if that you are sending him to do the melacha, and you are benefiting from the melacha of the goy on the Shabbat. Now there's going to be a difference now with kablanut, and sometimes even with kablanut it will be prohibited. So let's just explain what is kablanut. So we already mentioned that kablanut is that you're not paying him per hour, or you're just paying him for the job, which means that you don't really care how many hours he's working or which hours he's working. You're paying him for the job. The job is to sew you a clothing. The job is to clean the clothing. The job is to fix your car. The job is to paint. That's a job. It's not per hour, because it doesn't matter how many hours. It doesn't matter which hours. He could do it on Shabbat. He can do it on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It doesn't matter. So that is called kablanut. However, though, even in kablanut, there's going to be a difference between things which are mechubal lakarka and things which are not mechubal lakarka. Why? The Chachamim come and they say that anything which is mechubal lakarka, which means that it is connected to the ground, right? They suspect it for maritain more than things which are not connected to the ground. And therefore, we're still going to suspect that people are going to come and they're going to say that a person is doing it for a melacha. And therefore, it's very, very important just to know that. Now, he comes and he says it's permitted to give to a goy something with kablanut, which is not mechubal karka, as long as you're giving it to him before Shabbat and you tell him how much you're going to pay him. And now what happens is that you're not going to tell him to work on Shabbat. Why? Because since right now you didn't tell him to work on Shabbat and you're paying him for the job and not for the days or the hours, he's doing it on his own accord, meaning he wants to do it because now he's off. So since he's off right now, that's when he wants to do the job. But you're not telling him to work on Shabbat, and technically he can work whenever he wants, right? But this is only going to be if he's doing it in his own house or his possession. And then you could be mekel. However, though, if he's going to do it, right, on your property, so therefore it's going to be asur, because then it looks like you told him to work on Shabbat. Or, for example, if he's going to do it b'reshut rabim, in a public place, and it's already known, everyone knows that it's going to be yours, right? So therefore, if everyone knows that it's yours, let's say it's your car, and you have a big sign on it that it says your name on it, and now what happens is you're coming and you're doing this. So it looks like yours. In such a case, what happens is it's going to be prohibited. Why? Because he says, because then it looks like you told the goy. That means because of Maritain, it looks like you told the goy to come and to do it on Shabbat, so therefore you're not allowed to do it. That means even though technically mitzad the din, mi'ikar din, it's permitted. You didn't tell him to work on Shabbat, you're paying him kablanut, you're doing, but the fact that he's doing it, and there's like a sign on it that they know that it's yours, and they're doing it b'reshut rabim in a public domain, so everyone comes and says, he told him to come do it on Shabbat. Why? It's much easier for him to do it on Shabbat. So therefore it becomes prohibited. So obviously there's going to be another few halachot with this as well, but these are just like the introduction of the differences between kablanut when it's going to be done in a public place or not a public place.